In the last video, we looked at section 37 of the NDPA and how it, relates to the use of AI and work. I want to remind us the Nigerian Constitution protects or guarantees the right to fair hearing, guarantees the right to non-discrimination, guarantees the right to human dignity or dignity of persons. Now, if we allow AI to make decisions entirely by themselves, like just AI, without any human analyzing the results of these AIs and how these AI softwares arrive at this result, these constitutional protections are at risk. And especially if that AI system outputs discriminatory results, discriminatory assessments.
In simple terms, how can AI as your manager result in lawsuits?
AI systems are used to appraise employees based on probably communication style, the tone they use to respond to emails. For remote workers, AI can also be used to check how many hours employees stay on call, like on the software, and how many hours they are offline, or how much time they take for breaks and all of that. One thing that these AIs are not, these humans or the humans behind the scenes do not check, do not impute is probably context. What if this employee is a caregiving mom who is probably working from mat leave, or possibly not even working from mat leave, is back from maternity leave, but has to work and has to also care for the new baby, breastfeed the baby. Now, this context is not added to the system. So if you allow the AI to make that decision, the AI could miscalculate the off time, the time offline, and calculates that as probably ineffectiveness. Maybe the staff has not been showing up for 2 hours in a day regularly for every day in a week, and then it just rules that and then scores this staff very poorly, and maybe subsequently it leads to termination, a warning letter, or a suspension. If the staff is not very comfortable with it, it could actually lead to a law case. AI can also go by your history. If, for instance, the first 2 times you used that software to hire staff members, it's you always went for the lesser age, not for the higher age, automatically that AI records that detail, and whenever it has to bring the best candidate for you, it will end up bringing candidates that are within the age bracket you always go for. So in such situations, you could find that there could be discriminatory results. There could be discriminatory results based on age. It could also be based on ethnicity. If your AI algorithm records that you always employ people from the West, for instance, it would always end up bringing people from the West to you as best candidates, even if there are people from the Southeast and North that are doing well or better. And someone who is conscious, like Derek Mobley, conscious about the number of jobs he has applied and the softwares that these companies use, could actually sue an employer, based on this discrimination. I know that there are AI softwares that give automatic queries to staff members. So, for instance, they monitor how the staff, uses the AI software, and if the staff is probably away for a few minutes, a few seconds, it just triggers a query, and there the staff has it, and then it could trigger like 10 queries at a time, 10 queries in a day or 10 queries in a week. That could actually make a staff feel burned out. Though it's not a physical thing, it's a mental thing. It actually make a staff feel burnout, make a staff feel unwanted, and that could actually lead to forced resignation. Forced resignation can get worsened when AI is used to monitor the job. Now, I need to state something very clearly. In the case of performances, it is very, very important that the clause of fair hearing, the constitutional right of fair hearing, comes into play. So even if the HR decides to use AI for performance reviews, when these reviews come out, you need to engage the staff to understand why and how that review is there. Okay, engaging that staff kind of like cuts you some slack as an employer, cuts you some slack as an HR. It will then see that it was a human decision and not an AI decision. But please do not let that decision to be biased, because if that decision is also biased, could and would also lead to a court case. See you again next time. I still remain your host, Mary Kimbufe.